Lesson 5, SIAM Roadmap, Part 1, Introduction and Discovery and Strategy. Now that we've studied what SIAM is and why an organization might choose to adopt a SIAM model, we need to look at how a customer organization and its service integrator build the SIAM model. We're going to study the SIAM roadmap, which has 4 stages: discovery and strategy, plan and build, implement, run and improve. For each stage of the SIAM roadmap, we will study objectives, triggers, inputs, activities, outputs. There's a lot of information to learn about the SIAM roadmap, so make sure you complete all the exercises and review the video lessons as many times as you need to. The SIAM roadmap explains the journey that a customer organization takes to build its SIAM model. To improve the chances of a successful transformation, the roadmap stages must take place in an appropriate order. For example, it is reasonable to expect planning to take place before implementation of any changes. This doesn't, however, mean the roadmap is strictly sequential. Many activities are iterative, and stages might need to be repeated. Some activities will happen in parallel. The amount of time an organization has to adopt SIAM will also affect the way it follows the roadmap. If timescales are short, some activities might be carried out less thoroughly, and more resources may be needed to ensure they are completed. It's also important to remember most organizations won't be adopting SIAM in a greenfield environment. Their existing service providers, contractual obligations, and other factors will all affect the roadmap. The roadmap begins with high-level requirements and the vision for SIAM. As the stages progress, more detail is added and the requirements become clearer. At the end of each stage, there will be a checkpoint. The checkpoint will look at areas including the stage outputs. Are they complete? Do they meet expectations? Any risks or issues that have been identified? The plan for the next stage. The checkpoint might include a go, no-go decision. If everything is present and correct, the roadmap can move on to the next stage. If something is missing or a significant risk has been highlighted, the organization might need to go back to an earlier roadmap stage. We're going to study each roadmap stage individually, starting with discovery and strategy. To help illustrate the roadmap more clearly, we're going to use a case study. Before you move on in this lesson, download the Ceylon Ordnance case study from your course documents area and read it thoroughly. We'll use examples based on the case study as we study the roadmap, and also give you some exercises based on it. The discovery and strategy stage initiates the SIAM project, maps the organization's current situation, and identifies the strategy for SIAM. The customer organization needs to decide what it wants to source internally, decide what it's prepared to source from external organizations, understand the benefits it will gain from a SIAM model, understand what extra skills and resources it might need. Let's think about this with an exercise. Spend 15 minutes on this exercise and don't forget to review our suggested solution. Imagine you have been appointed by Ceylon Ordnance to advise them about SIAM. They are unsure if a SIAM-based model will be appropriate for them, so they have asked you to give them your opinion about whether SIAM is suitable for them. Provide some suggestions about what services could be sourced externally. Give them some suggestions about the potential benefits of SIAM. There's no perfect right or wrong answer here, so use your own experience as well as the case study to help you complete the exercise. Here, you can see the objectives for the discovery and strategy stage. The customer organization needs to be clear about its own strategy for SIAM, but it also needs to review the environment it operates in. The existing service providers an organization works with can influence the SIAM roadmap. For example, Ceylon Ordnance uses NetCorp as a network service provider, but NetCorp are not performing well. Ceylon Ordnance might decide to replace NetCorp as part of the SIAM transformation, or it may be they are locked into a long contract so they need to integrate NetCorp into their SIAM model. The availability of service providers and service integrators is also important. If Ceylon Ordinax decide to use an external service integrator, are there suitable candidates to choose from? The triggers for the discovery and strategy stage are the SIAM drivers we studied earlier in the course. It's very important for each organization to understand what they hope to achieve as part of the transition to a model based on SIAM. Ceylon Ordinax, for example, might want to have access to service providers who can help bring its IT services up to date or improve reliability. You can see the inputs to the discovery and strategy stage here. The customer organization needs to clearly understand its as-is position to help it define its future desired state, the to-be position. If information is missing or incomplete here, there will be an impact on later roadmap stages. For example, if Ceylon Ordinax doesn't have accurate information about its forecast sales increases, service providers won't be able to quote accurately for the service levels it will need. On screen, you can see the activities in the discovery and strategy stage. A SIAM transformation will be managed as a project using the customer organization's preferred project management methodology. If the customer organization is using a consultancy to support them as they adopt SIAM, the consultancy might provide project management advice. Everything that is done in this stage is at a high level, for example, producing an outline business case. As the roadmap progresses, more and more detail is added. One of the activities in the discovery and strategy stage is to produce an outline SIAM model. This model is the customer organization's adaptation of the high-level SIAM model we studied earlier in the course. It will include principles and policies, a governance framework, outline roles and responsibilities, an outline of process models, practices, and structural elements, outline of the services included in the model, information about any service providers to be retired. The SIAM model will be part of the outline business case. At the end of the discovery and strategy stage, the outputs you can see here are in place. The checkpoint at the end of this stage will confirm they are complete and highlight any risks associated with outputs that are missing or incomplete. The customer organization will decide whether to move on to the next roadmap stage or whether any rework is required. It may even decide that SIAM is not an appropriate model and close the project at this point. Click on the Next button to access your end-of-lesson quiz when you're ready. When you finish the quiz, click the Next button again to move on. You've completed Lesson 5, where we've introduced the SIAM roadmap and looked at its first stage, discovery and strategy. The next stage we'll study is plan and build.